It all started here. Life was pretty boring until then. We're pirate scouts. This place has a lot of history. Here's my boat that I sailed around the world in.
We'll go cruising.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody is the director of their own movie. And if you have a shitty movie, it's because you're a shitty director.
All right, look at that. Is this old Key West style?
Yeah, that's an outdoor sink. B.B. King came to town one day. A beer at Howie's was 25 cents.
I'd sail and get drunk and, the usual.
You're asking about the Conch Republic. Well, look at this. It looks like a giant ice cream cone.
It's actually closer to Cuba than to Miami.
Best milk. One of the best musicians in Key West.
That's a beautiful boat.
It'll probably be high-income housing.
Wow, you're super prolific, David.
You can't do it when you're dead. Here's the story.
All right, David, quite an interesting zone you got here.
Yeah, come on in. This is the main house.
Oh, this is cool. So this is like an artist studio here.
Yeah. Now we kind of rotate. Chuck's visiting for a week or two.
Your buddy?
So yeah, that's his room, and this is Heidi's room. I stay in my studio.
How long have you lived down here?
Key West, I've been over 55 years. Here's the galley. This is the kitchen's been for 40 years. We haven't changed that. Set up, it's just a 2-burner cook stove, nothing fancy. Maybe a new refrigerator.
This is your buddy Chuck?
My buddy Chuck here.
Chuck keeps it together. So you got a good group of people that you sort of got a commune going? What would be the way to say it?
Not really a commune. A group of, the thing we had in common, we were all sailors. We had boats.
This is your place?
Yeah, this is the painting. Kenny Chesney came, he saw this painting, and this is...
Kenny Chesney?
Yeah.
The country singer. You painted this?
Yeah, that's one of my paintings.
You make music too?
Yeah, oh yeah. Now look under here.
That's beautiful.
Under here is 30 paintings. This is all ready to hang for the show.
You got a big show coming up.
This is real big show. The biggest gallery in Key West.
Beautiful.
These are stuff I found on the street. That sculpture.
On the street?
Yeah, but it was broken, and I fixed it, and I made it look like bronze. But it's just fiberglass,
You're not selling, this isn't rake art, is it?
No, that's...
In Palm Beach, there's an exhibit like this. It's a little more decorative.
Different kinds of rakes.
Yeah, they're selling.
No, this is just stuff I find on the, like that saxophone I found on...
Oh, yeah.
I just, why leave it on the street when I could pick it up? That had its head broke off, and I put that back on and bronzed that.
So we'll go cruising.
This bike here?
Oh, yeah, I can ride that.
Yeah, there you go.
You've had this 50 years.
This one here.
Okay.
This is an old mail delivery bike.
U.S. Postal Service?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. People say, well, why don't you paint it and fix it up? Like, what good is that gonna do? Like, I want it to be shiny. I've never painted it, and I never will.
So that's what they used how many years ago?
This is probably from the 50s.
Okay.
60s, maybe.
You gonna hold down the fort?
She's the boss.
Heidi's the boss?
The house mother.
You keep these guys in line, sort of?
She's our den mother. We're pirate scouts, and she's the pirate den mother. I just started something, now I've got a garden, but you gotta have wire to keep the chickens out.
Ride around town, guys.
Thank you. And so you call this place Chicken Preserve?
Yeah. Now this is how I get around. I tell people it used to belong to Pablo Escobar, but it's a big fat lie. But
you got some
they
sticker bullet holes?
Yeah, I put some bullet holes, and they go, oh, those aren't real bullet holes. So anyhow, we'll ride down to the bowels of Key West.
So you're literally a block away from the main tourist street, huh?
Yeah, middle of town. Halfway between Blue Heaven, the best restaurant, and the best bar, which we're gonna stop up here. Here, let's go up on the sidewalk. This is, John, he wanted to put in where he could get an air pump, right? Like old gas station. On the internet, they were like $2,000 for a real one, right? I said, I'll make you one for 200.
You made this.
Yeah, look. The crank is just a window crank. This is a license plate cover.
Okay.
From a license plate. But it's handy. It rides a lot easier when. But
Oh, this is you too.
these doors are
Wow.
are mine, and it was. You see over here, this was. Well, look at it. There's the master himself. This is Pete, John.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
He's doing a documentary on Key West. So I said,
Yeah.
of,
Well, this is certainly a big part of it right here, man.
Have you lived here for a while?
50 years.
How is town right now? What's your take on it?
I think you can't really screw it up. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
the people are real. When you meet the real people here, it doesn't matter how much traffic or anything,
Yeah.
right, John?
No, it's
Doesn't-
all great.
Mosquitoes, well, nothing. Now there's a big plague from termites. They had to close down Blue Heaven the other night for an hour to get rid of the, turn all the lights off.
swarming, yeah.
Because the termites are swarming. Just like
same here.
if it ain't a hurricane or rain,
What do they
something
say?
else going to turn
Mother
it.
Nature bats last. Right?
So here's the library. Look, these are all, I would go to people, friends of mine mostly. I would say, think of a title of a book you would write, or something that says you, right? So these are all friends of mine. You know,
There, I
there's,
fixed it.
yeah, there's,
Webster's.
Dick and Jane. Who that was.
Dick and Jane.
Yeah, How to Act. Harry Powell was a city commissioner and got thrown in jail for strapping dynamite to him.
The last of the mojitos.
Yeah. This is a real Key West bar. Voted #1 bar in a music venue.
Yeah, the Green Parrot.
Green Parrot. Okay. Can I poke the camera in?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, look at that. That is classic.
See, all these are instruments I painted, you know.
Oh, beautiful. Wow, you're super prolific, David, huh?
Well, you can't do it when you're dead. This is called the Rich and Famous Only Bar. Here's Key West in 1971 with snow on the ground.
No way.
And then here's my boat that I lost in Hurricane Irma that I sailed around the world in.
Around the world.
Around 8 years around the world.
Wow.
Here's, John picked all these out from my portfolio. So I made the bar and put them on here.
It's sort of a mix, David, of the old world and the new world, huh?
Yeah, but you know, there's the underbelly, which most people don't ever get to see. They go to Sloppy Joe's,
Okay.
Captain Tony's, and they don't go to the Green Parrot. You know, all they see is other tourists.
Right.
This is the gallery where I'm going to be showing.
Where? This
Right
one?
around the corner here. They own this whole building. So that's going to be April 3rd. This is the county jail and courthouse.
Have you ever been in there, David?
Not that one.
Not that one. Okay, and I want to point out to the audience here, right behind you, mile 0, the famous tourist sign.
Yeah.
This is the start or the end of US Route 1, which goes all the way up to the Canadian border up in Maine. And so for those of you who don't know, the Florida Keys, I'll put a map here on the screen, tropical islands connected by one road. In Key West, the southernmost point of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, quite a special feel here. There is a vibe. There's a, not a surprise, an island vibe. All this old architecture, the breeze, the banyan trees. Guys like David, I guess, are an endangered species. I mean, he's got his posse here, and there's a lot to get into. The guy's got a mega story, and he's a character, obviously. So I just got to work into getting that story out while not crashing on my bike with the garbage truck behind me and the camera.
This is Ed Swift's museum, the Records Museum.
So this is the super touristy part.
This is right. Ah, the boat's gone. They took it away after 30 years.
What's that?
The boat sat right here. It was a turn of the century sponge boat. It was there 2 days ago. Chickens were living in it. Termites just ate, it was a feast for them. The end of that, end of an era. This was Howie's bar, right in front of that tree there. See where it says gallery?
Yep.
Coffee Butler played on weekends, who the amphitheater's named after. And Jimmy Buffett was playing downstairs for $30 a night. But I lived upstairs with my 5-year-old daughter.
Oh, wow.
And then
That's
I
cool.
made a fruit stand for her, and it's set right there where the porch is.
Okay.
And she sold $100 worth of fruit every week. I had to get her a business license.
How old was she selling fruit?
5.
Oh, that's so cool.
She would go to Sunset, leave the cash register, put the money in the cash register, and we'd go to Sunset.
Good place to raise a kid.
Yeah, it was then. I had lived nothing but in Indiana. It all started here. Life was pretty boring until then. I came with friends and a bicycle. Howie rented me. I painted his roof. He said, I want people to see it from the airplane. Howie's Lounge, the in-place. Because the planes fly right over here. So I said, I can do that. When I did, he gave me the upstairs for $100 a month. 54 feet long and 12-foot high letters. You could see it from the plane. I'm going to take you to a place, a studio like the Chicken Preserve, only on a larger scale. This is called the DePoo House, after Susie DePoo, who became quite famous in her old age, She was a designer for Key West handprint fabrics. It was one of her claim to fame.
So another zone sort of like yours.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
This is my friend, it's Andy's brother-in-law.
How you doing, sir? Peter.
Good.
Nice to meet you. So there's a good group of you guys. Artists, sailors.
Yeah, but we all stick together,
That's cool.
Well, actually, I retired when I was 22, when I moved down here, because I figured I was young and I could do stuff that I wouldn't be able to do now. So from 22 till I got married, which was 31, I was pretty much retired.
Picasso never
Keep
retired.
working,
He never
and I
retired.
wouldn't want to do anything else anyway, so.
Bob Dylan never retired.
I
Musicians and artists don't ever retire. If you retire as an artist, you weren't an artist. You were maybe a teacher or something like that. But
That
a
is well
teacher
said.
is secondhand information, so I'd never go with a school of art where teacher, you want to learn to paint like abstract, go clean Pablo Picasso's brushes. Then you'll learn something, but
I'd paint a boat a week, and that was enough to get by on. It was cheap back there, So I'd sail and get drunk and, the usual shit,
Back then it was cheap down here.
Oh, cheap, yeah. I think my nut was $60 a month for my part of a boat. For
a beer at Howie's was 25 cents when I came to town.
25 cents.
25 cents.
Mostly, I think the musicians have kind of kept the magic of the island. When I go to Andy's Cabana and listen to music, it's kind of like I went back in time 40 years,
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just a bunch of, rich people that, got houses down here, nice places to eat and all that, if you can afford it. There are some people that want to try to preserve this.
You need the next generation coming in and taking the mantle eventually with these places.
I would say, yeah. The fellow that owns this, he could sell it, next week and make millions,
Yeah.
But he likes it. I think he'll stick with it.
Okay, so all the artists are just renting
Yeah,
here.
There's another studio there.
Okay. So this style is what? Is this old Key West style?
Yeah, there was a couple houses here, and that's an outdoor sink.
Oh, yeah.
And you see, it goes down through bamboo, down to the plants.
10 different studios here.
Yeah, 10 different rooms where their room is their studio. This is a galley here, another galley. There's
Okay,
two-
so there are 10 different artists living here?
Yeah, 10 different. This is the living room. And this piano used to belong to my brother. So my brother passed away. And I told Andy to just leave the piano here because I don't have room for it at the chicken preserve.
So do you feel, David, you've been able to manifest the life you've wanted to?
Yeah.
Do the things you wanted?
Sailed around the world. I have 5 daughters, grandkids, great-grandkids, and old enough to still have time and spend with them, you know.
That's cool.
Not many people, you know, they're so old, they great-grandkids, nah, forget it.
Are you married now or no?
No. If you do anything in your life, learn to play an instrument and sing. It's the greatest thing. It opens a lot of doors. When I was sailing around the world, I had a banjo, a violin, and a guitar.
Universal language.
Yeah. The best thing of going around the world, meeting other people doing what I was doing and meeting the people that lived there, the natives, and becoming friends with them, you know. And I went to New Zealand, you know, all over. I went up rivers, and I really met the people, you know. Car troubles?
Yeah, the positive clamp apparently wasn't on tight enough.
Yeah.
How's it going?
This is my friend Peter. He's doing a documentary on Key West.
How you doing?
Hi, Peter.
You live out here?
Yeah, 6th generation here on the property.
6 generations, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How is it these days?
It's nice, expensive as hell. The tax bill was, well, for our property on Duval, also $90,000 for everything that we own.
90,000 tax bill. Who owns the land at that point?
Yeah.
We're lucky that we get rental income. You know, if we didn't, then we wouldn't be able to be here.
Can you explain the Conch Republic? You got the flag out there.
Back in 1982, the federal government put a border crossing at the top of the Keys up in Florida City, Homestead area, to protest. They came up with the Conch Republic.
So people were angry because the traffic was so bad if you want to get on the mainland.
The traffic and just that they were treating us like we weren't part of the United States. So they came up with the Conch Republic as a, and we seceded from the Union and then surrendered back, and became part of the United States.
Key West
again.
Succeeded from the Union?
Yeah.
For how long?
I think it was like under a minute or something like that. We declared our sovereignty and then surrendered back to the United States.
So you protested and you hang on proud.
Yeah.
To this day. That's cool. I see those everywhere. Take care. Thank you.
See you, Kenny.
What a cool place. And these places, do you know when they were built? Like early 1900s?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
1860, something like that. You know, it was pretty wealthy. Key West was the wealthiest city in the United States at one time.
You're stating wealthiest city in the United States at one time?
Yeah.
Hello.
This is Peter. He's doing
How you
a
doing?
documentary.
Good.
Tamara.
Tamara. Do you live here, Tamara?
I do.
How is it?
It's so fabulous. I've lived here for 31 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you an artist too?
Con artist. Yeah.
She's, look at that movement. Wow, a lot of flow going on.
And then my lover's on the phone.
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah.
I need a chicken on my guitar, too.
He needs a chicken on his guitar.
It's right up my alley. I can do a gay chicken or a naked chicken. How about a naked chicken?
Happy chicken.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
I came to get a drink of water. It's like a horse. He knows where the stream is.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you guys?
I'm making a video with David today.
Oh, hi. I'm Nubia.
Nubia, Peter.
Peter, you want a drink?
This is Philip.
Philip, nice to meet you.
want a
I'll
water?
take a water. I got this, David.
It ain't no sin to jump out of your skin and dance around in your bones. Here's
So what don't you do, David?
the more you do, the more you get. See, look here. Here's the book.
You wrote this.
Yeah. 50 years of David Wegman. 50 years of paintings.
Beautiful.
Jim Harrison, these are all my kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Channing, St. Bart's.
Beautiful, David.
That's going to be in the show, that painting.
Nice.
That's what Zach Brown owns the original of that. That's St.
Oh,
Bart's.
David,
Go for it.
I got 2 checks for you.
Oh, checks again? Oh, I got to go to the bank again?
I know, right? You gotta go to the bank. Let me get them.
The half model, that's one of mine. And Polynesia. And the portholes, those are good stuff. And the pirate flags. Those are all mine. 2 of them. No.
So Nubia, do you like living in Key West?
I do. I like it because it's a small town and it's safe town.
It's safe.
It's safe.
Your guys' crime is low?
Nobody gets mugged here.
Oh no, absolutely not.
No.
You can leave your car there with your bags, everything, and nobody will touch it. There's no crimes. There's like, if anything happened, come from other town like Miami,
All right, guys, so we're here, and I believe this is 90, 95 miles to Cuba. It's actually closer to Cuba than to Miami. And we're entering a whole different world down here, into the Caribbean.
Now, you see this building here? This was my brother's, the first health food store. He had a grand piano in the window, and then there were jars and jars full of herbs and spices. This place has a lot of history. In the 80s, there was a free box here. There was a park bench here, not this one, a free box where it would be like the Goodwill, but just come and look through the free box,
Okay.
and you could get clothes. A piano in there. One time, Dr. John, from New Orleans, came in and sat down and started playing. Ended
Cool.
up Tim rented him a piano. He played for a concert here. But we had watermelon seed spitting contest. Who could hit the fire hydrant from this side?
From here.
Yeah,
That's pretty far.
Stupid things like that. I'll show you. You were asking about the Conch Republic. Peter Anderson made that really happen. He's buried up here. I don't know how he got his way into it ain't easy to get into the graveyard here. Well, look at this. It looks like a giant ice cream cone, but it's a conch shell. So somehow he went ahead of time and bought that triangle there, right? Which is not really big enough. And I guess he showed him a picture of the cement conch shell. He had his ashes or something, but
There you
they'll
go.
be buried somewhere. I don't know. Just give me a stick of dynamite, and throw me off the back of the boat or something.
Oh, this is cool. Little playground and tight streets. A lot of texture here, a lot of detail. What do you think something like this costs these days here?
Probably 900,000.
Okay.
A little house like that.
Yeah, it's really 2 worlds right next to one another.
How are you?
Oh, pink crops.
My daughter's been doing some art.
Making your own gems, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
So you guys have a historical home here?
Yes, we do. So each one took 2 years to build. So this one was 1916, 1918, 1920, 1922, and 24.
Okay, so this is sort of like the new artist of Key West.
Yeah, I think living here, you kind of have to be a little creative. There are a lot of jobs here, but if you don't own a business or you're not an artist, you almost have to have multiple jobs to survive. A lot of people move here and they think it's Margaritaville and it's like glorious. And then you get here and you realize like rents are really high and it's a hard place to find even housing.
So David's sort of grandfathered in, right?
Yeah.
He's been established. He's done his thing forever.
You kind of have to find a unique situation, and we found ourselves a unique situation.
Okay.
But
Can we go in?
yeah,
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
My
letting us
daughter's
in.
room. So this is a shotgun house. So every room has a cross window along with a cross door. And then this was addition. We have a cross window to a door. Usually that's a door to a door.
So back in the day, end of the house kind of ended right here.
Hallway went
The
clear
hallway.
to the whole end
Shoot
of the
a
house.
shotgun straight through the hallway.
Oh,
From the
okay,
front to
so
the back.
intruder at the front, you got your shotgun here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's good for airflow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great for
that's good.
It's all
airflow,
perfect.
for sure. We moved down here 8 years ago. 7.
From,
7, almost 8.
From where?
Tampa.
Yeah, we started coming down here together when we were about 22.
Okay.
And then every time we left, we'd always leave the press wanting to stay, you know.
Yeah.
So we finally made the jump when we were about 25, and
Never
rest
go
is
looking
history.
back.
There's a vibe here, right? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
It's
special
it's,
place for sure.
The only way I can describe it is it's like a whirlpool of energy, and you have to know what to do with it. Because some people, if you don't tap into the creative or the craftsman of the energy, you could easily slip into drugs or alcohol. Because we've seen it.
Okay.
It's like there's just this magnetic pool that it's almost like you just don't know what to do with it. And if you don't use your hands or use your brain for it, whether it's writing books or drawing or pouring candles or driving boats or diving.
I do a lot of charters. I take people out fishing. I don't do a
Oh.
lot of commercial fishing.
Oh, nice.
So I have a 25-foot center console. I take people out, whether it's fishing, lobstering, snorkeling, or just hanging out at the islands, you know.
Islands off here.
Yeah.
Sandbars,
Okay.
hanging out.
Okay.
Beautiful
cool.
waters out there.
Cool.
It is
so,
amazing like how many people visit here and never get out on the water. Ever.
Yeah.
Like they've been coming here 15 years and have never been on the water.
I'm not getting.
You don't have a boat.
You
I'm
got
just
it.
in and out. Yeah, I know.
It's
Good.
a whole nother world. Like, you know, Blue Heaven's a restaurant, but out there it's really Blue Heaven. Like, it's just endless. You walk out and you're in the middle of the ocean, in the sand, in like 2 feet of water.
No way.
It's beautiful. It's the whole reason why we live here. Like, Duval is great, but that out there is like unreal. It's really cool.
So you go out there and you just walking on sandbars and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
turquoise water.
Crystal clear waters, all sorts of color change from all the waters. That's what we fell in love with coming down here. Just the fishing, the diving.
Nice.
It just feels like you're in the Caribbean, but you're still part of America, you know.
And this is a different like Florida. A lot of people don't understand outside of Florida. Florida's many different things. I was just up in northern
yeah.
Florida a
Yeah.
couple days ago. Totally different world up there.
Oh, yeah. It's just a different vibe. And there's different history in each place, you know? Like,
Totally. This is
Cedar
more
Key
Cuban.
is totally different than down here. Yeah, we have a huge Cuban influence.
Okay, Cedar
Yeah.
Key is totally different than here,
Oh, yeah.
culturally.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
this is more Cuban influenced.
I think so. Yeah.
Cigars were made back in the day.
Yeah. And there's actually a lot of connections between Tampa and here, because a lot of Cuban cigar makers here, once the cigar shops closed down, they went to Tampa and Ybor City. So there's a lot of people that are from Tampa or from here, but they have family in both places. Today we're pouring some candles for Cuban Coffee Queen. I have another order for a dive shop that I'm working on in Key Largo. In order for me to afford to be able to be here and have a 2-year-old, so I need to be able to work in the home and not pay exorbitant amount of rent for a shop on Duval. So I wholesale my candles
Okay,
to
cool.
all the shops in town.
Oh, that's
So
cool. And this is your
my
machine?
wax melter. Yeah, this is our dinner menu.
Okay.
When he gets a bunch of charters, it gets kind of confusing, so I have to write down what nights he's out because I gotta like get creative. for dinner.
What's the rent on a place like this, if you don't mind me asking?
This would be closer to $3,900.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And
it's-
to find a place like this in Old Town with parking is almost non-existent. There's a huge like dilemma here of vacation rentals, right? So the vacation rentals moved in.
Yeah.
A lot of people during the COVID era bought houses here. And some of those houses were split into 4 or 5 apartments because of Navy influence back in the day. There was no industry here before that, so then, you know, they kind of started to split their homes to be able to afford to stay here.
Okay.
Offering Navy men housing. And then that, Key West has had so many different identities. So Navy came out,
Yep.
and then now we have tourism. We had shrimping, we had sponging, we've had
Cigars.
Gold Rush, you know, the Atocha. We found a bunch of, Mel Fisher found a bunch of Spanish coins.
Okay.
So we had that rush.
Okay.
Now we find ourselves in tourism, which is great because we have businesses that rely on it.
Right.
But it's a double-edged sword because we have friends, like right now, they have 3 kids and they're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's not more than $5,000 a month, and it doesn't exist.
So a lot of the employees at these restaurants and whatnot, do they live on different keys that are cheaper?
So everybody's complaining right now because traffic getting on and off Key West is kind of insane.
Right.
And before, we had these houses that were 4 or 5 apartments, and
Okay.
you know, they would live in 1-bedroom apartments downtown. Now that COVID era happened and those new people bought, they are, which I think it shouldn't be allowed, but they are basically turning them into single family homes. So essentially we're losing like 4 to 5 apartments with every single family home that's flipped.
Right, and it's a very small island. There's
Yeah,
just not much
it's 2
inventory.
by 4. Like we don't
2 by 4.
2 by 4 miles. You cannot, and
Right.
DOT has regulated us so much that we cannot build anymore, because in the case of an emergency with hurricanes, we have to be able to evacuate this amount of people. So they have put a moratorium on building. There's tiers to it, but unless you have the top tier permit to build, you cannot build. Like all the empty lots you see, that's it.
But you love it that much, you want
Oh
to
my
stay.
God. I know it's not Margaritaville, but the fact that my daughter is in a really good school. Schools get a bad rep down here, but my daughter is in the best school on the island. We bike to go to school. We pick her up from the bike. We can go to the beach, the park, the dentist, and the grocery store all on the way home.
All on bike.
All on bike.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool.
I don't really drive my car. I even deliver my candles from my bike. So parking's hard to find, and to get in and out of places, it's just easier to go by bike. But I think it's like the most walkable, bikeable city in Florida, at least. Yeah.
You were saying a lot of young kids here. A lot of kids.
Oh yeah. I think we have more kids registered in baseball and softball this year than ever record before. A lot of Navy kids. You got Coast Guard, a lot of Border Patrol now. Definitely upped since the last administration.
Those guys have moved in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And staging camps, like up and down the Keys, because there was a while where I can't remember how many came to Fort Jefferson in one day.
Cubans?
Yeah,
About 500.
in one day. And this is like an island that has no resources. It's just the fort out there in the middle of the ocean. They had to shut it down because we were providing water and food once they got here. I mean, you're talking babies like 6 months old, no life jackets coming over. It was wild. We've had just like a month or two ago, they washed up, a Cuban chug came over in front of the airport. Like maybe 40 people on this tiny sailboat. Kids, older people, young people, and it's kind of wild.
So people don't think of you having a border issue, but you do.
Oh, we do. Even had them come to Southernmost Point. Like they were just getting off the boat and walking onto land. I mean, we feel for them. Obviously, I can't imagine the scarcity of supplies over there, but our hospitals were filled with patient refugees. We barely have enough resources for ourselves. You had people that were going up the Keys and even up to Miami to have procedures done, like minor procedures, because our hospital was just full. So,
Oh, people here would have to go up.
yeah, it's interesting. We have a huge Haitian population too here. They're on Stock Island. From what I've been told, it's better living quarters than Haiti, but to us, it may not be livable. They've got like, 5 or 6, 10 to a trailer, a single wide, and they're just trying to, I think, live the American dream, but
What are they doing for work?
they are the backbone of this island. They are your kitchen staff, they're your cleaning crew, they are your
A lot of Uber drivers.
Uber drivers, landscaping. I think without them, we wouldn't survive at this point.
We have a lot of
rely
foreigners
so
here.
much.
Eastern Europeans,
Yeah.
Argentinians. You go to some of these restaurants, it's a lot of the wait staff, people that are working in the kitchen, and we need them. We really do.
Yeah.
We're taking a little break back here at David's pad. Just wanted to chill for a bit. He's resting in there. We're gonna get it back out to show you more of Key West. There's some different elements we haven't shown yet. It's fair to say this small island, I mean, there's many different identities here, right?
Oh, yeah. Many different identities.
Like what would be the main identities, do you think?
Millionaires.
Millionaires? Guys like
It's
you
all-
guys?
It's all changed in the last 20 years, big time.
But then there's this Bahama village, right?
It's right here. We're actually in it.
And that's not millionaires.
No. Although it's being encroached upon. Have you been to Blue Heaven yet?
We're going there.
Yeah. Okay, that's right in Bahama Village. It's an old whorehouse.
Originally, yeah. I think Hemingway had used to have boxing matches held there as well.
Okay.
It's a wonderful place, but it's as you can tell by seeing that place in Bahama Village that the whole place is getting gentrified. So it's no longer just a ghetto. There's shops.
It was a ghetto.
Yeah, kind of.
Is it low-income housing?
Yeah.
And they're...
Right across the street here is low-income housing.
So it's mostly low-income and then super wealthy. Not much middle?
Right. And tourists, lots of tourists.
And the chicken preserve.
And the chicken preserve. Yeah, we
Which
stand
is
out.
doing its own thing. So David, this is low-income housing across the street?
Yeah.
What's the story with that, do you know?
Every now and then a cop car comes or an ambulance comes, takes somebody away. It's like low-income housing, just what it is. Yeah, we'll go, I call it the darker side of town.
The darker side of town?
Yeah.
Who did this mural, do you know?
Rick Worth. He's having a tough time health-wise, fighting cancer or something like that. So another artist bites the dust. B.B. King came to town one day. He played there at the American Legion. You go in from the side, and there's a kind of a stage there, but they're trying to fix it up and make it a music venue. These houses like that, it's more low-income house. About a month ago, I hear all these sirens on a Thursday night. They couldn't get the shutters open. 3 children burned up and the mother and father. Only one child got out. Horrible.
There was an apartment fire?
Yeah, government housing. Yeah.
Okay, so if someone is low income, they can live here technically.
You gotta make so many less than so many dollars a month. Social Security, elderly people.
Oh, we got this going on here. What's that going to be?
This is high-end housing. This is part of the Navy base. Like condos,
What was this here?
This was the electric plant at one time, but they're trying to figure out what to do with it. But it'll probably be high-income housing.
All right, then it just opens up here to the water, huh?
Yeah.
Big park?
Yeah. This is the sub base. This is their biggest boat.
That's a beautiful boat.
I don't think it's more of an antique now.
And that's Tank Island in the distance?
Now it's called Sunset Cay. Oprah Winfrey, a lot of big high dollar houses.
On that island out there?
Yeah. Right next to it is Christmas Tree Island. No buildings on it. And it's in a lawsuit with the government. A bunch of friends of mine live out there. And it was where I got my first boat. I was the only boat anchored on the other side. I never had to pay any dockage. 6 months, I didn't know anything about sailing. My first boat, I sailed out of here on my 25th birthday, going to the Dry Tortugas, and I got in a Hurricane Agnes, and it kicked me around the Gulf of Mexico for 10 days. And the boat was sinking, but I kept it bailing and bailing. Finally, I found a sandy spot.
Okay.
Up on the west coast of Florida.
Yeah.
And after the hurricane went by, and the only sandy spot, there was a funeral hearse parked. So I sailed the boat right up within 20 feet of the funeral hearse, and there was a guy in a suit standing next to it. My boat stopped rocking. It was the first time I was on land in 10 days. My hand was all infected I got really bad, and I walked up to him and I said, "Who are you? Am I dead? Did you come to take me away?" He said, No. He said, "My name is David Farley. I own the Farley Funeral Home, Venice Beach, Florida. Welcome to Venice Beach." And also, he's city councilman. He was looking at road damage, and he couldn't believe that I was out sailing that boat and survived the storm.
Wow.
They block the view here, but Mallory Square, there's a little piece they can see the sunset. Yeah. There's a whole thing. People don't want cruise ships here.
How do you feel about them?
Smaller ones, but those cruise ship people, they don't spend any money. Newlyweds and nearly deads. And during COVID, there was nothing going on in Key West, so we started doing open mic here. Open mic, no mic. So we don't allow microphones. Thursday night, this is when it's really happening here now. It's like, if it's cold, we have a fire going.
Oh, you have puppet shows.
Yeah, and I made this puppet theater. And every now and then, Richard and I will do a puppet show, you know. And those are my pirate flags I make. What are you drawing? It's one of the best musicians in Key West. Whoa! When did you do that?
I did today.
Whoa, out of your head?
No, Bill Clip took a photo of you.
You nailed it, man. You even got it.
I got the shirt.
Yeah. Sure.
No top buttons.
He's a songwriter, though, that makes, you know, I crack up, you know, when I hear a funny song, you know, I got songs, I'm going to Pakistan, you know, but I gave you a tape of that, you'll hear it, you know. But he's got some really good ones.
You know, I toured for years, which was great, and then I stayed in New York making a living playing.
And now he's sketching. So,
yeah, I started drawing last year.
So this town, it's not big enough for both of us.
Well, I'm leaving soon.
Do you find
I'm leaving
He's
soon.
doing T-shirt designs.
Yeah.
I go, there goes that market.
No.
Is it
No,
yin and yang going from here to New York? Having both makes both better,
It's
right?
like, yeah, they're the opposite. So they're like, you know, everything that's good about there is bad about here, and vice versa. So it's convenient and it's beautiful, and it's like, you know, safe and warm. And then, you know, then at night there's not much to do. I mean, you can watch some bands, but it's the same places in New York. It's just endless. And you're anonymous in New York, and in here you're not. But there's more community here, which I like. So I like both. Actually, it took me living here to really appreciate New York a lot, because I traveled a lot, and I was always angry every time I came back. But I was able to see this place for the good and the bad, and same with New York.
Fresh coconuts? Where are these from? Nice.
That's the best milk.
Where are you selling these? Restaurants?
Oh, no. I just cut them open and just get the water.
For yourself?
Yeah.
Okay,
How
nice.
much? I'll buy one.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Huh? You ever have a coconut?
Oh, yeah.
A real-
Yeah.
How long does it take you to cut it? Like,
Oh, no, I don't have my machete with me.
oh, you don't have your machete? Oh,
I might have one. Alex might have one upstairs. I can
Yeah,
grab one.
probably rusty, dull.
It probably is.
Just grab your couple and you can cut it whenever you're ready.
Thank you. What's your shirt here?
Oh, let's keep those cones, man.
Oh, are you guys good?
Not so much this year, but they are right.
They are,
Yeah. They compete.
They're giving
They
it.
can only get better.
See you guys. Thank you. Okay, famous Blue Heaven. So this is your friend's place?
Yeah. Everybody is the director of their own movie. And if you make a shitty movie, it's because you've had a shitty cast and set director.
DP was off.
Yeah. You know when to say cut and roll them. And
When have you said cut?
my movie's still rolling. I'll say cut when it go, oh, cut.
All right, look at that. Is that how it is? It's
This
just,
is what Oprah Winfrey
it's 80%
came all the
meringue.
way down here, and probably she bought a house down here on Sunset Key over there because she came to Key West to try Richard's key lime pie.
Okay, this is Richard's key lime pie. It's famous on the island?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Here's the story. Kenny Chesney comes, and he likes the pie, right?
Okay.
So he says, I'm going to bring my grandmother. I think it was his mother or grandmother. She's like really old. In his jet plane. The plane takes off, and she's flying over the water, and she's amazed how crystal clear the water is right, coming down here. And then she says, Kenny, can you tell the pilot to slow down a little? She was amazed how fast everything was going by, and she wanted to see the water. But so they landed, and he brought her here, and she had the key lime pie. He's on Oprah Winfrey, Kenny is, and he's telling her that story. She has the mother on television with the key lime pie. They sent for it or something.
Okay.
And,
What's going on
That's how
on
it
top
got
here?
really famous, Richard's.
The brown on top
They have a way to
brown it,
to brown it like that, yeah.
and then it's key lime is 75% meringue.
Yeah, on that one.
On
They
this
make them, that's not very high compared to
This is
some of them
this
I've
is
seen.
good. You don't want some?
I'll try.
Yeah.
Have another fork.
Yes, of course.
But that's the story how it really put the key lime pie here on the map.
Oh, really? That's
Kenny's
the origin story.
Mother or grandmother.
You guys make it here, I hope.
Yeah, it's making house.
Cool.
Bakery's at
That would have killed the story.
Bakery's at the lower level of the back of this building here.
This is good.
They bake
This
all
is
the bread
This
and
is
everything.
legit.
Oh, I didn't even realize. We got my DJ over here. Yeah, go ahead.
Tomorrow night is the fundraiser for studios at Richard's house.
This is Richard's house.
Yeah. 60 people have paid $225 a piece. We're making it look like Moulin Rouge. You'll see it here.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Like in Paris.
Yeah.
You can have topless ladies.
As the night goes, Channing has her way. She's the musician that's playing. If she has enough wine, she'll be in the pool. Yeah, outline this.
So did you make this
I made
mechanical device here?
Everything.
Everything.
David, the man, the myth, the legend.
Just put the finish
your
it.
hometown of St. Bart
You are.
today. Yeah. What's up, man?
Peter.
Peter?
Yeah.
I'm Blake.
Nice to meet you, Blake.
You can film anything you want.
All right, man. Thanks.
Put my stuff here, but
Okay, so you're a world-class kiteboarder.
yeah, that's my job.
That's your full-time gig.
Yeah, kiting around the world, traveling,
Nice.
having fun with people is the most important. And then I do this too, e-foiling.
Oh, nice.
So this is like battery-powered electric
Sure.
hyperfoil surfboard. And it has a computer and then Bluetooth. It powers up the mic here. Richard is like the e-foil cowboy.
Okay,
here.
all right.
Yeah.
This
He
is
rides
I
around.
bought this honeybee for Dave. We're gonna shoot champagne corks at it for the big party tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You guys are pretty excited for this, the party?
I am. He's got to go to St. Bart's.
I'm excited about it. We've gotten it all like
got
set
the
up,
yard ready.
everything, and I'm ready, but I'm leaving right now.
Did you grow up here?
I grew up in Saudi Arabia.
No way.
Yeah. And then I lived in Abu Dhabi as well, and Qatar. And then moved to Michigan, drove down here just to kite surf. So, yeah. So I lived in Khamis Mushat in the Abha mountain region, which is like the Bin Laden family's hometown.
Near Yemen.
Right on the border of Yemen. And so we lived on a U.S. air base in Osama bin Laden's hometown during 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah.
How wild was that, those times over there?
For me, as a kid, like I just didn't think anything of it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like if you're a kid in the U.S., you know,
Yeah.
what happens and your parents are upset. You hear about it, it's very sad, but
Right.
we didn't feel like in danger at all.
Is your dad in oil? Is that why you're over there? Or?
School teachers, my mom and dad.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, I love Saudi. I found it to be very hospitable, safe,
yeah,
good to travel.
beautiful too.
It's
Like, the
beautiful.
mountains are-
That area is beautiful.
Oh.
And it's cool. People don't think Saudi Arabia and cool weather. It's like misty and cool. It's like San Francisco
Yeah.
weather up there.
I would say that if anyone were to go visit Saudi, I would say go to Jeddah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, I grew up in Jubail in the Persian Gulf, which is beautiful, but it's
Yeah.
more like straight desert to the Red Sea side is just so beautiful, and it's like mountains straight to the
Yeah.
sea there.
So how is it living in America after growing up in the Middle East?
It was quite shocking, yeah, because after 9/11, we moved to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
You move to America and you think, oh, it's a free country, but we could actually do kind of anything we wanted adventure-wise with
Right. Okay.
AKD. In Saudi, you could just camp anywhere. You could go windsurf on the beach. You could, you know,
Right.
climb mountains, do whatever.
Less regulation.
Whereas, like, there's a lot of regulations when you came here.
Yeah.
So there was a lot more freedom. I'm a man, so like as a woman, you're really restricted.
Yeah.
My mom would go out, she'd wear a black abaya, everything.
Yeah.
And we were lucky because we're just fortunate to be Americans.
Yeah.
That's how we grew up.
So they
you have
treated
like
you well there.
kind of a golden passport where you're allowed to, do whatever you want.
Right. You're not expected to be Saudi, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
But if I just was born in a different country, then it'd be a different situation
okay.
for everything. Or the color of my skin.
Right.
In the U.S., there's lots of minorities. Like, I was a minority there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the only blonde-haired white person around. And all my neighbors were Saudi, and then I'm like a, blonde-haired, blue-eyed person. So it was really cool. I love it over there.
And then, do you love Key West?
I love Key West, yeah. I've lived here for 12 years, and I go on vacations with people. And
Yeah.
It's like the full-time thing.
Yeah.
And I send other people on vacations with other people.
Okay.
Because you live your life, and the most valuable thing in your entire life that you realize is your time.
Yep.
And every day and every minute of, like right now, the way that you spend your time is the most important thing of all. You have very wealthy people in the world, and they've worked so hard to make that happen. So once you reach a certain point, you're like, I need to enjoy all of my time, and I need to have the most fun that is humanly possible, and do what makes me really happy, and do that with my friends and my family. And so that's what we do, is like help people do that.
Okay, so you're going on a vacation with some people that hired you to come out and show them the way, basically. Show them, kiteboarding or whatever adventure.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have me, but then also a team of people around the world, and you select what you want to do and where in the world you want to do it.
Oh, that's
and then we
interesting.
help you find the people there, or send people from anywhere in the world specifically to help you have the most fun, be safe, learn new sports or tricks or anything. Anything that you ever want to do, and anywhere in the world you want to do it, that's what I do, is Olsen Adventures.
Olsen Adventures.
Yeah, Blake Olsen.
Okay,
So-
do you notice with all your clients, what do you think they're missing out? Like, everyone thinks you have the most amount of money, right? Then you got everything figured out in life, right? And life is just great. And, that's a goal for many people, right? Just to have a big number. And then once you get there, all is good. Is that what you see, or what do you see?
No, because it could be a never-ending number that you'll never reach. At a certain point, you realize, I've wasted a lot of time doing something that I don't need to do.
Right, but it's a balance, right? You need enough numbers in the account so you can do things.
That's it.
Right.
So
you need
it's
what's
good
that balance,
you know?
and dialing that in.
Yeah, and some of my favorite people in the world are like the Bedouin tribes that are super happy and they live in a tent on the desert. In the middle of nowhere.
They're nomadic and have very little, but connected.
Or Buddhist. I lived in Vietnam for a while.
Oh,
My
nice.
neighbors didn't have much, but they're like community. And,
yeah.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
Here, Gabby.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, that's all right. Gabrielle, what are you up to? Are you part of this event?
No, I'm Richard's. Well, I'm Richard and Blake's roommate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going. I just worked at Blue Heaven this morning,
And you're styling.
Always,
Super styling.
always. Well, if I have to work, I want to look nice. I'm really, really tired, and I'm like, well, if I wear an outfit like this, nobody's gonna look in my face. So.
How long have you lived here, Key West?
Well, I lived in Key West from 91 to 2016, and I live in Germany now.
Okay.
But I'm here for 6 months.
Oh, cool.
And I worked at Blue Heaven since 94, so
Alles klar.
it's my family.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going back there.
How's it feel to be back in Key West?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. I love it. I couldn't live if I couldn't come to Key West once a year. It's my home.
How do you, this is a long conversation, but the differences between the vibe, the feel of Germany versus the US?
Oh my gosh. It's incredible. I mean, but Key West is not really the US, Key West
doing
is
its own
kind
thing.
of, it's its own thing. It's people just, I don't know, friendlier and more open, and everybody talks to each other.
Sure.
Even I started it in Germany. I work in a bookstore, and I always say I'm an American with a German passport. I'm more American than German. I don't feel German at all.
Wow.
So I'm really thankful that I can stay with Richard, and
Cool. Well,
I love working at Blue Heaven, so that's where I'm going right
that's
now.
Richard's restaurant.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. All right, well, it was nice to meet you, Peter.
Nice to meet you.
Have a
All the best, Gabby.
Yeah, you're well known in town. Wow. So it doesn't turn, does it?
Yes, it turns. You kidding me?
Oh, the wind will turn it.
As a French native, do you approve of this?
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Yeah, we just need to have a sex shop next to it. That's it.
Sex
Well,
shop next to it?
Channing's coming.
Yeah, I know, but we need some little sex shop booth. That's what Pigalle is all about.
Do you live here?
Yeah, for 45 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I go to France every 3 months right now. I used to have the business across the street from Blue Heaven.
Okay.
And I've been, commuting for 45 years, and this is where I'm in my life. And I love Key West. I will not live anywhere else. That's for sure.
Other than Key West?
Besides Key West, no. I met my husband in Key West, and this is where I want to be.
Our person, get right there.
I'm right there.
Watch your windows, Ames. Watch up there, Richard. Watch your
All right, don't lift so high. Don't lift so high. You don't have to go just off the ground. All right, should we sing a French? What's the French national anthem? Down, 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 down.
Okay, well, listen to me.
Rara Jacques. All right.
Moment of truth.
All right, lower the bottom. Pay attention. Pay attention here. All right, come on.
All right, this one is down all the way. Wow.
All right.
This is so awesome.
Let's go on up, right up, tight against the door. That's pretty good. You got some room?
Chop, chop.
That was pretty good. All right, come on this way. Can you make me a Moulin Rouge? Sure, Richard, no problem. This is the other piece.
Oh, cool.
Café de Richard. The Moulin Rouge. Oh, the chicken preserve. Who are these people?
One thing starts another thing? That's why you sit off camera.
One thing starts another thing. It's what people do in Key West. Richard is doing this totally for free.
Yeah.
He's not getting anything out of it.
Well, thank you for showing us that community.
Yeah, well.
Dabbling in today. That was cool.
You got a good look at it.
Yeah, all right. Anything else you want to say?
Into the camera.
What do you want to, there you go.
Love many, trust few, but always paddle your own canoe.
I like that.
That was in my last book.
Beautiful.
My new book coming out soon, In the Wake of a Dream. In the Wake of a Dream.
Do you have a website?
Yeah, if you Google David Wegman,
okay,
a lot of stuff comes.
Well, I had no idea you were so prolific and did so many things. But that was very interesting to see.
You're the director of your own movie, and if you have a shitty movie, it's because you're a shitty director.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming along on that journey. Until the next one.
The world is full of so much hatred. Wouldn't it be nice, instead of dropping all the bombs, we could just drop like small accordions or little guitars with sheet music over Iraq, and the little kids would find them laying on the ground and start playing music. Or maybe I could just go over there, Pakistan, start there, and form my own band. Gone to Pakistan, I'm gonna form a band, play music to the Taliban, that's where I'm going. It's always sunny there, I'll never have no care. Pakistan, I call it home. They may have earthquakes and snakes and